To Deputy Richard Boyd Barrett, who always observes the time of 30 seconds.
Minister, we have an unacceptably high level of low-paid workers in this country, the second highest in the OECD. That's bad enough, and your failure in particular to do anything to date about low-hour contracts compounds that. But what makes it even worse is that people who might be entitled to FIS, who are on low-hour contracts, often can't get it because employers won't fill out the Part 8 form. And I'm aware that Spark, the Lone Parents Group, have asked you to get rid of this form and allow for other ways for workers on low-hour contracts to prove that they were working and fit the criteria for FIS payments. So I'm asking you again.
Minister, 2 minutes.
The Family Income Supplement is an in-work support which provides for an income top-up for employees on low earnings with children. This is designed to prevent in-work poverty for low-paid workers with child dependence and to offer a financial incentive to take up employment. There are currently over 57,000 families with more than 127,000 children in receipt of FIS. The estimated expenditure on FIS this year is approximately £422 million. For a person to qualify for the Family Income Supplement, they have to be engaged in insurable employment, which is expected to last at least 3 months, and be working a minimum of 38 hours per fortnight, or 19 hours a week. Any combination that reaches 38 hours over a fortnight is acceptable. A couple may combine their hours of employment to meet the qualification criteria. The applicant must also have at least one qualified child who normally resides with them or is supported by them. Furthermore, the average family income must be below a specified amount, which varies according to the number of qualified children in the family. For low-income workers with less than the minimum hours of employment for FIS and working on a casual basis up to including 3 days a week, the Job Seekers Allowance Scheme provides in-work support through daily disregards and tapered withdrawal of payments. Individuals in Job Seekers benefit can also work up to 3 days a week. For each day they work, they lose a proportionate reduction in their Job Seekers benefit payment. If someone can't meet the 19 hours FIS threshold, or if their hours vary significantly from week to week, the Department offers a number of schemes which can provide income support that can be combined with earnings from employment, subject to each individual's circumstances. These include disability allowance, carers allowance, the one-parent family payment, Job Seekers transition payment and the part-time incentive scheme. Combined, the Department provides an extensive system of social welfare support which facilitates recipients in taking up some employment while maintaining their social welfare payment.
Doesn't address the issue that I've raised. Many employers, as Spark made it clear to you at the Social Protection Committee, and we've had people come into my clinic making the same point, many employers of employees who are on low-hour contracts will not sign these forms because these forms require them to indicate that somebody works a minimum of 19 hours a week. And low-hour contract employers, who shouldn't frankly be allowed, they should be banned, but seeing as you won't ban them, these people then won't fill in a form that's, where they commit, in effect, to employing people for 19 hours a week. And consequently, people who should be entitled to FIS and who desperately need it because they're on low-hour contracts and on low pay cannot get FIS. So you need to do away with the form, the Part 8 form, and allow for another mechanism for these workers to demonstrate that they fit the criteria, are working the hours required, and so on. And just to add also, the 3-month rule is a problem because many of these workers won't necessarily fit into the 3-hour rule because of the precarious nature of their employment, the hours. And finally, the JSA payment that is available to people who work 3 days does nothing for workers who are on low-hour contracts and who do work 4 or 5 days but might only be getting 4 hours a day. Right? So they can't get JSA, and if their employer won't fill out this form, they won't get FIS either. So this problem needs to be addressed for the sake of low-paid, many of them women workers, who need some income support.
I'm afraid I wasn't aware the Deputy is going to raise a particular issue around the Part 8 form, and it's not in your question, so I'm not in a position to answer directly here today. But what I would say is, obviously, we're going to need some sort of mechanism to find out how many hours somebody works. You know, that's the basis to the payment. So if you know, you're suggesting that we replace the Part 8 form, what would you suggest that we replace it with? We need some mechanism to find out how many hours somebody worked and what they earned. One thing that I did get agreement on in Cabinet today was to begin the public consultation on the new working family payment. And as you know, the Programme for Government commits to the introduction of a working family payment, A, to reduce child poverty, and B, to ensure that families are not better off on welfare than on work. And there are a number of ways in which we support families working families with the cost of living. For example, child benefit, the increase for the dependent child, and of course family income supplement. And the development of this new payment, which could either be an additional payment to these or one to replace all of those, is an opportunity to reform the whole system. But like I say, you know, we do need to have that information, and I don't think getting rid of the form would assist us to get the information that we're not getting.
It would, Minister, because the form, if employers aren't willing to fill it out, then people who are entitled to the payment are not able to get it. So there are other ways in which employees could prove use of pay slips and so on, which would allow them to demonstrate that they have been working. Or you could currently it's assessed that you have a 3 months or more requirement. You could have an option for it to be weekly, fortnightly or monthly assessed, where employers might be more willing, because they're saying, yes, this person worked for this week for the required 19 hours or for the required hours in this month. But where they're reluctant to say that over the course of the year that they're committing themselves, I mean, they should, which is a separate issue, right? They shouldn't have people on these low-hour precarious contracts. But given that you haven't done anything about that and banned that, and that situation is there, then there should be some mechanism which allows employees to prove in another way that they fit the criteria. Or that we change the criteria, the assessment, if you like, which would allow it to be done on a weekly, fortnightly or monthly basis, where the employer might be more willing to sign the form and say, yes, this person worked those hours over this period.
Yeah, look, I certainly take that into consideration as part of any changes that we're going to make. But like I say, I'm not entirely clear why employers would refuse to fill out a form. And what seems to me, looking at the figures and the expenditure in FIS, how it's increased over the years, expenditure in FIS was 39 million in the year 2000, went up to 186 million in 2010, probably hit 413 million in 2016. So you've seen a massive expansion in the number of families in receipt of family income supplement. And my concern, quite frankly, is the reverse, that employers know that FIS exists and think they can get away with paying people less than they should, because the social protection system will top it up. So it seems to me to be very strange, therefore, that employers would refuse to sign the form.
Move on to